Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to the Real Bros Podcast. My name is Logan Thomas, and with me, as always, is my most excellent co-host,
Caden Green.
and together we are
The Real Bros.
And today we're going over one of Caden's movies.
Oh, yeah. And it's Venom from 2018.
Yeah, I remember us going to see this in theaters.
Yeah, when we went to theaters, we thought it was going to be this horror-style Marvel movie, and we were disappointed in that category, but we still enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Hardy does a good job at playing a guy who's kind of losing his mind.
He looks like a hobo in 90% of the shots he's in, and it works well for Tom Hardy.
I mean, that is kind of what the character becomes.
Yeah.
So,
especially in the other two movies.
Yeah. He just had a bad couple weeks.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed this movie. It kind of got me started on the trilogy that they started.
Yeah, Venom is definitely the strongest of the
Sony movies.
Sony collection of Marvel characters universe that they started and just recently ended.
Yeah. I mean, aside from like if we're talking solely Sony movies, yeah. But like Marvel and Sony together, like The Amazing Spider-Man, or right, that was with Andrew Garfield.
Yes.
And then Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yes.
Like,
and I did just hear that Sony's wanting to sell the rights to Spider-Man back to Marvel.
Because they don't know what they're doing with it.
They don't know what to do with it. They keep losing their money because they want to make crap films. So, oh well.
I mean, they're good in execution, but when you think about it, unless you have like a full team of storyboard artists, directors, and animators dedicated to one project for a set amount of time, you're not going to have very good reactions.
And the fact that they're trying to make a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen Morbius. It's not as bad as people say it is once you accept what kind of movie it is. But I will never watch Madam Web.
No.
I do not want to lose my brain cells like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Craven. One of our buddies, he tells me it's decent, but I don't know. I have my reserves.
See, the best way I can describe the Sony Spider-Man movies without the Spider-Man is just good. They're not great, but they're not bad either.
It just depends which one you're talking about.
Yeah, but the Venom series, that describes it the best. They're good and nothing else.
Yeah, like, because Madam Web is like the lowest grossing superhero movie of all time.
Yeah.
So that will never be on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
And then
I don't even think Morbius will be on this podcast.
Funny thing about Morbius, everyone was joking around about how Morbius is the most greatest movie ever and joking around about that, and Sony re-released it in theaters again because of that.
My heart just sank.
And they had a set budget. They made considerably less than that budget on the first go around, and they somehow made even less on the second go around, which I think is so funny.
The only good thing that came out of Morbius was the memes.
Oh yeah.
And that's the only thing I will ever thank it for. So, are you ready to get into your spoiler-free quick review?
I don't know.
Me neither.
All right. So as we just talked about, the movie we're going to be going over is Venom from 2018, and this is a PG-13 movie. So basically a quick rundown is just An alien symbiote named Venom teams up with his human host, Eddie Brock, to try and stop an alien invasion of other symbiotes, which is being conducted by another alien symbiote and their host. Along this, I want to call it like a mystery slash journey. Mystery just because you don't know who it is, or the character doesn't know.
It's more of kind of like a brand new origin story that they wanted to come up with.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Venom is a anti-hero when Spider-Man's not in the equation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why a lot of people think the character's best when he's not with Spider-Man. But that's a matter of opinion. I'm okay with the character either way.
Yeah.
'Cause
I just think the concept is cool.
Yeah. I mean, because DC never had anything really like this. The closest thing I can think of would maybe be like Clayface. But
Even then.
yeah, because of the whole creating things out of like your body or whatever. But yeah, Venom is a very original character, and he's lasted the test of time because he came out when there was a lot of edgier stuff going on in superheroes.
Yeah.
Because originally they created him because Spawn was doing good, and they're like, well, let's create a darker character. And then they're like, hey, let's make him a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah. But the story just, it's a big character development kind of story because Venom starts off hating everything, hating Eddie Brock, hating the planet as a whole. And by the end of it, he's like, hey, place is pretty nice. I might stay for a bit.
Yeah. And for all the comic book nerds out there, you'd even know that Black Suit Spider-Man was never originally Venom in the first place.
No, it was literally just a black suit of Spider-Man.
Yeah, he just wore that during the Secret Wars run, and everybody's like, oh, maybe Venom will show up in Spider-Man 4, or maybe he'll be in Secret Wars and everything. Like, I wouldn't hold your breath.
No.
I mean, it'd be cool if it was, but I'm not. I'm not holding any of my reserves till I see something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Marvel's been kind of on a downtrend recently, and they need to save themselves.
Yeah, they keep bringing back old actors who, at this point, just need to retire.
They're trying to play off the whole multiverse thing.
Well, Robert Downey Jr., for God's sake, he's what, 50, 60 years old?
Yeah.
Let the man retire.
I mean, I don't want to get started on that conversation.
No, let him retire. He's done enough as Iron Man.
See how it goes. We still got another year before we get to see that movie. All right. Do you have anything else you want to add?
It's a good movie. I like it. I don't. There's nothing particular that
It's a simple movie.
Yeah, there's nothing particular that stands out. That's like, well, that's dumb, or I don't like that. It's a good movie.
So we're ready to get into production tales.
Are you ready?
Never.
Okay.
So let's do it. Production. So originally in 1997, writer David S. Goyer, who people might have known him from, he wrote the Dark Knight trilogy with Christopher Nolan. He wrote Man of Steel.
Good movie.
He did have some hands in BVS, Batman vs Superman. But like I said, that movie, we're gonna talk about that another time. But there are things about that movie I'd like to discuss at one point, just because I have my own thoughts and feelings about that, which a lot of people disagree with me about. But we're not talking about that movie. Originally, it was going to be made in New Line Cinema, which this was, I think this was before Sony bought Spider-Man's rights, I believe, because New Line Cinema is with does more work with Warner Brothers.
Right.
So, and Dolph Lundgren you might know from Rocky 4 is the Russian guy,
Hmm.
Ivan Drago.
All right.
And
He's a big man.
he's in talks to play Venom. And Carnage was going to be the main antagonist of the film. But and I am right. This was before Sony bought Spider-Man, and so then Sony got the rights, and the whole thing fell apart. And the next thing anybody saw of Venom was in 2007 with Spider-Man 3 with Topher Grace, which is something.
Yeah.
Producer Avi Arad felt the series had relied too much on Sam Raimi's personal favorite Spider-Man villains, and because originally he didn't want Venom in that movie, he just wanted Sandman.
Right.
And so the studio was like, Venom's a big character, we got to get him in there. And then the movie was a disaster.
See, I liked it. Like the original Spider-Man trilogy.
I rewatched it. I think last year at some point, and I realized how much I did love it.
But then again, that could be the nostalgia for me because I haven't seen them in a hot minute.
Spider-Man, the first one, is my favorite.
Yeah.
Because you get to see Willem Dafoe just go crazy.
Yeah, that's the one with Green Goblin, right?
Yes.
And then what's 2?
Doc Ock.
Okay. I always forget about Doc Ock.
Those two movies are a good back-to-back thing.
Yeah.
Because you can tell that those were Sam Raimi's visions for those movies.
Yeah.
And then you get to 3, and that's just a very busy movie.
Yeah,
it's the shortest one out of all of them.
There's like 3 different plot points as well.
There's the New Goblin,
Sandman,
and Venom.
Yeah. And which Venom in itself is 2 different subplots.
Yeah. But then you get Bully Maguire.
Yeah.
So that makes it all worth it, man.
Right. It's so funny, but it's probably the worst section of the movie.
Yeah. It's hard to see Tobey Maguire just try to be emo, and that's your evil Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of do that in the Spider-Man 2 game a little bit, but it's done much better.
Yeah.
So,
because he's not emo. He's just becoming evil.
Yeah. He doesn't take his super short hair and try to like comb it down on one side.
Yeah.
He doesn't do any hip thrust dancing or anything like that.
In the middle of broad daylight in the street.
In a black tux. Yeah, so. We cannot wait to cover Spider-Man 3 on this show.
Oh.
We're going to give that movie so much hate love, it's not even going to be funny.
It'll be a big blast from the past for sure, though.
Oof. And then in 2007, they announced a Venom spinoff after that movie, which never happened.
Yeah. I mean, give it about a decade or so.
Oof.
Yeah.
But 10 years later, Sony hired Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, who we've had on this show before. They wrote Zombieland.
Oh.
They wrote a script for Venom. And in response to Venom co-creator Todd McFarlane, the Venom film could not do well with a villain So originally Todd McFarlane thought it wouldn't work. Because he didn't think Venom would be a good main character.
Right.
And I can see that, seeing as how the last 10, 15 years pretty much only painted him as a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
And when the character was created, he was a singular anti-hero character.
Which, fun fact, I can't remember if I ever told you, but the main reason that people go back to on why Venom is evil is because of Deadpool.
That is right.
Because Venom bonded with Deadpool, and just Deadpool's chaotic personality drove him insane.
Yeah. There's so many different versions of Venom out there.
Yeah.
You have your Agent Venom is when he merges with Harry Osborn. No wait, that's Flash Thompson.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um, there's your Maximum Carnage where Venom and Carnage merged. You know, a gigantic monster.
There's so much you can do with Venom,
There is.
but they miss out on so many opportunities.
Because they just like to see him as the one thing.
Yeah, as a villain.
Because they like to see Spider-Man do his whole darkness thing, because I mean it is a good storyline, but
Yeah.
we see it so many times.
And it's just, I want to see a movie where Spider-Man and Venom both team up, like as two separate entities, to take on like a greater threat.
There is something like that in the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s.
I said a movie.
Well, that's all you get for right now.
Yeah.
Watch. That'll be in Secret Wars.
If they do good and Venom's in it, I'll be impressed.
So, yeah. It pretty much just seems like different things just kind of stopped it. Mostly the hate from Spider-Man 3 and the failure of the Amazing Spider-Man movies just kept pushing this back. And then the whole Avengers thing, everybody was like, man, are we going to get bought out? Because Spider-Man appeared in the MCU before this movie came out.
Did he?
Yeah. And because he appeared in Civil War in 2016.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So everybody was like, man, is Marvel buying their character back? But
Nope.
then in 2016, after Deadpool and everything came out, they were like, hey, riskier superhero movies are good.
Yeah.
And it was around this time when like a lot of movies were like, well, we got to be happy and go lucky, like the Avengers, or
walk on eggshells, pretty much.
yeah, because when Deadpool changed everything.
Oh yeah.
Because when Deadpool came out, Suicide Squad was coming out, right? Originally, that was supposed to be a really dark, gritty movie. But then the producers of that movie were like, hey, we want you to make this movie pretty much just like the trailer for Deadpool. And so they had the writers and the editing team of the Deadpool trailer come in and re-edit the entire movie of Suicide Squad. And that is the movie we got.
Like, is that the Jared Leto Suicide Squad? Or...
Yes.
Uh,
That is why that movie sucks.
Yeah. The Suicide Squad.
Oh, I love the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's such a better movie.
It's also the official kicking off point of James Gunn's DCU.
Yeah. We're getting off track. We're talking about them.
This we already knew this was going to be a dangerous episode because we're going to talk about superheroes.
Yeah.
We've already been on like 5 tangents and we haven't even got to the spoiler review yet.
I'm excited for the next episode because we won't be talking about anything else.
Yeah, there's no way we can talk about any other tangents on the next in our next episode because it's just so specific.
I mean, you might be able to talk about
Oh, I probably will.
guns.
Probably.
Ah!
Anyways, no spoilers. Yeah, it was pretty much after the success of Deadpool, pretty much got this movie going full bore, and then pre-production started in 2017. Ooh. Pedro Pascal was originally going to be in this movie as the villain. I would have liked that. He would have been much more charming than the dude we got. Because if you watch the beginning of the movie, he tries to be charming, then that's just gone after like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal would have been like hey, you'll be all right. And then just like turn around and say, very mustache twirling.
See, I don't know how I would feel about that. He's a good actor. He's been in a lot of stuff, but
I'm excited to see him as Mr. Fantastic. Just because,
he's gonna be Mr. Fantastic.
yeah, he's Mr. Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
For real. I got you one.
See, the only thing though is that with everything Pascal's been in recently, I can only see him as like in a movie or TV show father figure. I can't see him playing any other kind of role.
Yeah. I think that's why he got cast as Mr. Fantastic.
Are they going to be bringing in the kids or no?
From what I understand, and I guess we're supposed to be getting a trailer here for too long, which I'm really excited about. It's supposed to be an alternate universe.
Okay.
With the Fantastic Four set in like a futuristic 60s style New York. And this is where Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom resides. This is his universe.
Okay.
So that's why they're a big part of the next two Avengers movies. But it's called First Steps. It's supposed to be like not essentially an origin story, but origin story adjacent. Like it kind of quickly shows how it happened.
Right.
But then yeah, maybe like cuts to like maybe like a year later or so.
Yeah, because we've already had 2 origin stories for the Fantastic Four.
One was good.
The original.
One was not.
I haven't seen the second.
The Fan Four Stick.
Yeah. What was the story behind that? What were they fighting?
It's pretty much a remake of the one from 2005, but
So they're fighting Doctor Doom again?
yes. But it deals with other dimensional energy and about, I don't know, it's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Fantastic has to have springs around his arms, keep his arms in place, and yeah, it's just a bad movie.
I mean, the one thing that I've seen from it is The Thing.
The Thing looked great in that movie.
Yeah. Like,
but
you actually get this sense of, oh, that's an actual man made of rock.
yeah, and I'm glad about this new one. It's a costume.
So
it's not a CGI character.
We're going back to our roots, people.
A real The Thing in live costume. That's one of the things I loved about the original two. Was that it was a costume. You couldn't believe it.
Like it looks so good.
And the design is they went with like the original look for The Thing. So he has like the gigantic singular eyebrow.
The monobrow.
He's got the monobrow. He's got the skinny head and the big round top. Dude, it's gonna be so good.
Oh, I'm excited.
I'm hyping myself up now. I need this trailer, Marvel. Come on.
So,
and the best thing comes around my birthday this year. So does Superman.
The trailer or the movie?
The movie. I get 2 heavy hitters around my birthday this year. I get Superman, then I get the Fantastic Four.
Anything coming out in July?
That is the 2 movies come out in July that I'm ready for.
Oh.
We have the same birthday month.
I always forget that. Forgive me.
Literally, we're literally 2 days apart.
Forgive me. Birthdays aren't my strong suit, alright? Alright. We are way off topic. Let's get back to production of Venom.
I don't know. I thought we were talking about the Fantastic Four there for a second.
We were. That's the problem. They're nowhere on our list.
But they just were. Filming began in 2017.
Talk about cameos.
Yeah, this is one of Stan Lee's last cameos.
That's not what I was getting at, but
What are you talking about?
the Fantastic Four making a cameo.
Oh. It was a pretty big cameo.
Yeah. But yeah, what was his last cameo? before he passed away.
That would be Captain Marvel.
Oh.
Because that was when they were on that subway train, and he was just like looking at the newspaper, and he just like looked down and smiled, and that was it.
His last cameo couldn't have been in a better movie.
I mean, Captain Marvel is better than the Marvels.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he was in Ant-Man and Wasp. Let's just cut it off there.
He had made a cameo in what, pretty much every Marvel movie?
It was every Marvel movie I believe ever made.
Up until that point.
Yes.
That's sad to think about.
I know, I just got really depressed. Knowing that Stan the Manly is gone again. Because you really don't even think about it hardly anymore.
No.
Because I can't even believe it was over 8 years ago that he died.
Really?
He died in late 2018. So, yeah.
That wouldn't be 8 years ago.
7 years ago. Sorry.
So wait, does that mean like he made cameos in like the original Avengers movies?
I mean, the original Avengers
Like-
movie.
When you had the Hulk, it was Lou Ferrigno.
No, not. So that was like a TV special.
Oh, but it
There
was,
was the Hulk show. There was like a Captain America movie, I guess you'd call it that, in the 80s. And they did, and there was like a movie, vaguely. But no, he was not in that.
it's only for the MCU.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much because that was when Marvel became a studio.
Right. All right. Well, anyway, back to production again.
Pretty much 2017 movie started shooting and it had no issues.
Okay.
And the director of this is actually the director of Zombieland,
All right.
which I really can't tell that
No,
because
it's two different styles if you think about it.
yeah, and it's really interesting for a director to be able to change genres like that, and there not be like a signature of his there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but whatever.
With Zombieland, it focuses more on the main four characters, where Venom kind of branches off to different minor stories while keeping in touch with Eddie.
It's definitely a buddy cop movie.
Yeah, just without the cop.
And you can really tell that they had different directors throughout this entire trilogy.
Right.
I guess that shows how singular the movie is. What are you laughing at?
It's a buddy cop movie, but without the cop.
So it's just Elf.
It's a buddy movie.
When
Just without the buddy. It's a movie.
you get a cop movie, it's a buddy cop movie without the buddy in it. All right.
When you're being interrogated by a good cop, bad cop, it's buddy cops without the movie.
I want the buddy cop. You don't get the buddy cop, sir. You only get bad cop. Sorry. Tell me who he works for.
He throws chairs at you when he's upset. All right, budget.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the budget. Way to go. We're professionals, ladies and gentlemen.
I want the good cop.
You don't get the good cop.
He's on vacation. He went to Tahiti. Oh, that's a nice place.
It is. Now who does he work for? The budget of this movie was $100 to $160 million.
100 to 160 million.
16.
Oh,
And the movie grossed $856 million. So it made its money back. And then some.
how much did it make?
$856 million.
Oh, okay.
Opening weekend, it made 80 million. Internationally, it grossed 642 million. So I guess they like Venom more overseas than they do here.
Yeah.
And Venom was only released in 4,250 theaters.
That's not bad.
No.
That kind of makes me wonder. You know, I'll let you. I'll let you keep going, but I'm gonna look something up.
Venom was a surprise blockbuster despite poor reviews. It was a huge hit in China where it earned nearly $300 million alone.
Oh, Jesus.
So, I guess they like Tom Hardy over there.
Or the concept of Venom.
Maybe. It's hard to tell about them.
Yeah. I don't know.
While Caden's looking something up, this would be a nice place to have a sponsor that we don't have. So.
So, I'm seeing anywhere from like 5,700 to 6,000 theaters in the U.S.
That's not bad.
Granted, that was just a quick Google search, so nothing
Right.
concrete. But still, if that's the true amount, that's the majority of theaters showing Venom.
Yeah. And if you think about it, cinemas, are really going to buy movies that they know are going to sell tickets. So when they see superhero movies, especially when Avengers Infinity War just came out, they're buying that movie.
Of course.
So, and we should know, we went to Infinity War opening night, and we sat there waiting for it for hours.
And then we also saw Endgame, and I made some people very mad.
Yeah, this guy over here decided to...
We're not going to bring that up.
We have to. You brought it up. I'm not going to say everything about it. I'm going to give the general idea of it.
I, in a fit of sadness, spoiled a major part of the movie without realizing it.
So, the theater we were in was in like a hallway, and as soon as we walked out, there's like people like standing on both sides of the hallway, all throughout the entire like popcorn area and everything. And there's like a little exit off to the side down this hallway. And so we walk out. We're actually the first ones in, which is a cool fact for us we can always talk about.
Yeah.
But we walk out and Caden's just like, they killed him. And me, my buddy, and Caden are just like, oh crap. And everybody just started like yelling. We just darted for the door. It was a moment of survival.
I don't remember the yelling, but I could, thinking back on it, I could feel their glances at me.
Dude, it was not a pretty sight. That's why we can't take you anywhere.
Well, like I said, it was in a bit of sadness. I wasn't thinking. And besides, normally when we walk out of those theaters,
there's nobody there?
Yeah, there's nobody there, so we can always talk about it as we're walking out.
You picked the wrong day to talk about it, sir.
we picked the wrong showing. We should have gone for the night showing.
Dude, if we would have went for the night showing, we never would have got in. Then it was also a school night, so
yeah.
So yeah, we're not that old, ladies and
gentlemen.
Do you have anything else you want to add?
Before we get into the spoiler review, if you haven't seen the movie, I would recommend seeing it just to get a general idea of what it's about.
It's a pretty plain superhero movie.
Yeah. It's got its moments that stand out, that are funny, but at the same time...
there is one F-bomb in this movie, towards the
end. Which is allowed because of the PG-13 rating.
Yeah. Which I'm honestly surprised these days and not more people take advantage of, but whatever. It's not my choice.
Yeah. Before we get into that, Deadpool actually came out with like a Christmas special for the second movie.
It's a PG-13 version of Deadpool 2.
And it was so funny because
it's got like Fred Savage. It was like a Princess Bride intervals. and everything.
Because Deadpool will actively break the fourth wall and be like, we're saving that for later. And right as he's about to use it, one of the characters uses it, and he's like, "Oh, come on!" But anyway,
I remember the Nickelback part of the Christmas special. There, Fred Savage is like, it'd be like, no, Fred Savage is like, you're Marvel, but you're not owned by Disney, so you're like the Beatles if they were produced by Nickelback. and Deadpool being a Canadian, he's like, I am tired of all of this Nickelback hate. He just like lists all of the stats and everything for Nickelback, and he's just like, suck it, Fred Savage. And then he's like, and Fred's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And then they just like hold hands and sing "This Is How You Remind Me." And then actually, funny enough, last year for Deadpool and Wolverine, Nickelback made a video talking about Deadpool and Wolverine stats. So Canadians have each other's backs, man.
Oh yeah. But are you ready to get into the movie?
I think so.
Anything you want to add? I'll take
No.
that as a no.
No.
Okay. So
wait.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You sure?
Not really, but let's do it.
Okay. So, as we discussed, Venom from 2018, and it starts off with a spacecraft crashing into Earth with multiple alien life forms on them. One of them, I want to say, escapes, while the other is captured.
Yes. All of the specimens are captured except for one.
And that one is Venom?
Is Riot.
Riot. Which, spoiler alert, Riot's pretty much the big bad symbiote of the movie.
Yeah. And there is a nice little Spider-Man Easter egg here, too. The pilot for the ship is J. Jonah Jameson's son, John Jameson.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's a big character in the... If you follow pretty much like the original one where Spider-Man gets the black suit and everything, and then it becomes Venom, he's one of the pilots in this, pretty much and always in the story, who is one of the pilots who crashes the ship.
Good to know.
Yeah.
But all these specimens are captured, and Riot escapes. And so I think now's a good time to kind of talk about what symbiotes are.
They're essentially a liquidy, sludgy alien life form.
Like a goo, but it's a colony of microorganisms.
And they bond with living hosts to sustain themselves.
Yes.
And if the bond is not exact, the symbiote eats the host from the inside out.
Yes. And throughout the movie, we'll see Riot switch from host to host.
Which that almost makes him one of the most versatile symbiotes. That he just like knows who's a good match.
Well, I wouldn't say that. He switches because probably the host he has
is dying.
Yeah, he's probably already ate most of them.
Right. That is true because we never see the previous host again. So yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. But research team comes and collects these symbiotes that didn't escape. And the research team is under the Life Foundation.
Yes.
So they capture him, and then we get a cut to Eddie Brock. And he has his own kind of little investigation section.
He's an investigative reporter with like a Dateline type show.
And he has his own segment on the news, from what I can remember.
I don't know if it's the news. I think that's just his show. Because his boss calls it the Eddie Brock Show.
Right.
So.
But his whole thing is just, he wants the truth. He doesn't want to give anyone false news.
This is a version of Eddie Brock that is not a sleazy, do anything for the story. That's usually what we get with the Spider-Man version.
He wants to give the true story,
Yes.
not the most appealing story.
Yeah. Because, like, they literally call him one of the best investigative journalists in the world today in this movie. And you can honestly believe that.
Yeah. But he goes into work, and he's told by the front desk manager, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
that the boss wants to talk to him. So, he takes up the elevator. While he's going, he's like, man, I hate heights.
Yeah.
And he talks to the boss, and the boss is like, hey, Eddie, you're one of the best reporters I got. So I got a very special report for you. You're going to be talking to the owner of the Life Foundation, Drake.
Carlton Drake.
I just call him Drake because
Honestly, that's what Eddie calls him.
yeah, because Carlton's stupid.
Sorry, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
So Eddie's trying to make his way out, and then his boss tells him one thing: don't screw up.
Because Eddie's very good at digging in and getting every bit of who you are.
Yes.
Like, he wants the truth for everything. And I guess that was one of the reasons why he's in San Francisco now and not in New York, because he pretty much did the same thing in New York.
Like, wasn't he run out of New York?
He was run out because I think he dug a little too deep on something. And so he just moved to the other side of the country.
Yeah, fair enough. If you get stories, don't complain.
Pretty much. I mean, when you hire an investigative journalist, what are you going to get? You know what I mean?
Hi, I'm here with Mike Michaelton. What can you tell me about this year's corn harvest? It's corn, it's yellow, and we got about 157,000 acres of it this year.
Good. Now, where are the bodies in?
Acre 2,356, 20 feet under in the service tunnel.
Pretty much.
So, and he's like, oh, yeah, I won't mess anything up.
And he goes on a date night with his fiance.
Which I forget about that.
It's, yeah.
His fiance has some minor importance to the story.
Honestly, she has more importance almost on the second one than this one.
Yeah.
And she's in the second one less.
Yeah. But he goes on a date night, it goes accordingly. And they go back to her apartment?
Yes. They live together.
Yeah. And so, they get ready for bed. And he wakes up in the middle of the night. I'm kind of thirsty. I could go for a nice, crisp glass of water. And this is kind of a plot convenient moment where he gets his cup of water.
And his fiance's email dings for file. Well, I guess we should say this.
Yeah.
She works for a firm. She's a lawyer, not a pro bono lawyer. She works for a firm, and her firm is covering the Life Foundation.
Yes.
And her email gets files, case sensitive files about pretty much like test subjects and reported deaths and stuff.
Right. So Eddie, being the reporter that he is, snoops heavily.
Totally not breaking any laws.
No, definitely not. But the next day, he finally gets ready for his interview with Carlton Drake,
and the interview goes well.
It starts off well,
and he pretty much is like, I can't do this anymore. What do you know about the allegations? And the guy's like,
what?
The deaths, the bodies. Because originally it starts out with him talking about space, because they're going to go back to space. Yeah. The whole interview is pretty much about him assuring people that the wreck was just an anomaly and that we're going up again. And because he says they're looking for real estate.
Yeah. Carlton Drake is kind of like the Elon Musk of...
He's a much more sinister version of Elon Musk, who
is actually going to space.
Yes. Um,
But
and he started pharmaceuticals, and Eddie's like, "Well, you gotta test drugs out on people, right?" She's like, "What about stuff like that?" And he's like, "Well, what about these disappearances and these lawsuits?" And pretty much he says, "Have a nice life. You're fired." And then 2 hours later, Eddie loses his job, his apartment, his girlfriend, everything gone within a matter of 10 hours.
yeah, it it's so funny to see just how fast things spiraled out for him.
And honestly, it's kind of realistic.
Yeah, because Annie, who's his fiance, or would be at this point, loses her job as well, which makes sense.
Yeah, because it was her files that got. I I know it wasn't her fault, but still, like she's a liability,
Right.
and I'm pretty sure Drake had her fired because of it.
Yeah. And Drake's whole thing is like, he says he wants to make the world better. He wants to cure diseases. He wants to go to space and stuff like that.
And it's kind of hard to read him. He doesn't really have a clear motivation of why he's doing what he's doing until like
I want to say about the second quarter.
not even that, like the last 45 minutes. Because, well, yes, he is experimenting with symbiotes and everything, but like, there's like no, they don't explain like why he thinks it's a good idea.
Right.
And then as soon as, spoiler alert, he gets Riot, they're like, yeah, I'll help you go get more of them, bring him here. Like, there is no explanation of why he is intrigued in symbiotes and why he's intrigued in space.
Well, the symbiote part might just be because, like, you're essentially getting a second body.
Yeah, but he wouldn't know that until he started the experiments. And even then, he never had a successful experiment.
Well, you gotta think. If he owns the Life Foundation and has all these security guards, and something like that came out of his ship, he would be intrigued. You're telling me you wouldn't be?
No, but it also leads to the question because he's asking about specimens
Mm.
when the ship first crashed. So, like, does he know about these symbiotes before anything? Like, there is no clear definition of what he knows.
Right.
And that's one of the things I don't like about it. Like, he's not a good villain. He's poorly written. He's pretty much just made to be an Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. He's just a really weak villain.
Yeah. But anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Eddie loses everything within the span of 10 hours. And, what is it, like a 6 month time skip?
Yes.
And in these 6 months, he's moved from a really suave apartment to a rundown one. And he's doing all he can to try and find a job.
And nobody wants to hire him because he can't use his name because he's pretty much been blacklisted
Yeah.
in
San
Francisco.
Francisco. But
And at this point, Drake's ready to go back into space because the 6 months has passed. And he's pretty much been experimenting on humans this entire time,
yeah.
making up more deaths. And they finally discover that the bond works when both sides are a match.
Right.
And so he pretty much just wrangles in homeless people.
And Eddie usually goes on nightly walks to this convenience store run by
Mrs. Chan. She is the greatest character in all three of these movies.
She makes an appearance in all three, by the way. But on his walks, he always comes across this homeless lady who.
I forget her name.
She's a throwaway character, all things considered.
It's like Marie or something.
Yeah. But he always interacts with her nicely, like giving her money for stuff.
Mm-hmm. Especially when he doesn't have any money that he can be throwing away.
Yeah. And it's on one of these nights that she's gone.
Yeah.
All of her stuff is still there. She just vanished. So, confused, he
already suspects something's weird.
Yeah, but is it at this point that he gets a call from one of the doctors?
No. So at this point, he notices the homeless lady's gone. He goes into Mrs. Chen's shop, and he's just like talking to himself.
Oh, okay.
And then he's like, I was a great reporter. I know how to vanish and everything. He's like, you suck. And it's one of the doctors that works for Drake. And she's pretty much like, I'm scared for my life. He's experimenting on people. He's going totally insane. I need you to help me. He's like, I'm done with the superhero crap. I'm done with helping people because it always gets me burned. And she gives him his card, and he goes by Anne's, and she's moved on. He lives with her. He's a doctor, Dr. Dan,
Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan's a good guy.
He is. He's not one of those, oh, I hate you, get out of my life. He's like, oh, yeah, what can I do for you, buddy?
He's like one of the people you would love to have one of your exes dating if you still want to be friends with him.
Right.
Because he's just so cool about everything. And he's even helpful in the second movie. By this much, but he's helpful.
He's still there.
Which is why I'm kind of sad they're not in Venom 3. But
Yeah.
I understand why they're not, but still.
Venom 3 is kind of a worldwide adventure.
Oh, yeah.
But this one just mostly takes place in San Francisco.
But Dr. Dan goes upstairs, and Ridley's like, are we ever going to try to find our way back? And she's just like, no. And so he pretty much takes a walk. He's on the Golden Gate Bridge, and he's just like staring at the Life Foundation because there's like carving like a cliff, which is kind of cool. And he calls Skirthin's like, tell me what you got. So he sneaks in.
With her help, of course.
With her help, she distracts the security guard. She like pushes him into where the test subjects are. And
she put, okay. You're not giving details.
I'm sorry.
She pushed Eddie into where she didn't push the security guard.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Dr. Skirkins or whatever her name is?
Skirt.
She pushes Eddie into where the test subjects are. And, this place is terrifying. Like, it's dimly lit.
It's dimly lit.
There's human subjects in every container, and there's like...
They're kind of like little cubicle cells, and they're all like frozen. Because...
Cryogenic sleep, almost.
Because a lot of what their findings are is like the people are overheating, and that's one of the leading processes of how the body starts to die from a symbiote. And so he finds
Maria,
or whatever her name is,
Maria Albanzo. It's anything and
homeless lady that he really likes.
Yeah. So he finds her, and she notices him immediately, and she kind of gets up, starts banging on the glass, like, "Hey, get me out, please! This place, it's horrible. It sucks. They don't give you hamburgers."
I want my burger!
They gave me pickles! I asked for no pickles! Get me out of here!
And so Eddie grabs a fire extinguisher and just smashes the glass, and she just like pounces on him, like demonically pounces on him.
And it's in this jump where we see like the first little bit of Venom himself, because as she pounces, I want to say Venom's face kind of pops up a little bit.
No, it's more of like her arms just kind of like shift, and it's like you just see like the black goo just kind of like transfer over to Eddie, and it's like veiny and stuff. But Eddie's eyes do like the black and
that's what I'm thinking.
Black and white, like liquid thing that they kind of show on later in the film. But he's like, "Oh, this is scary. I gotta get out of here." And he just like kicks doors down. He breaks through walls. He's able to like jump off a wall.
It's that Venom is taking over like super fast with Eddie.
And that just shows how strong of a bond they are.
But as he's trying to get out of the facility, the security guards are coming after him.
He's running like super fast. He runs through a log.
Like, it splits it in half.
Yeah.
With how much force he had behind it. But
he trips and like Venom just like picks him back up almost like a puppet. And then he just like keeps running. It's very fluid, kind of weird looking motion.
Yeah. But
then he eventually climbs up a tree.
Yeah, he gets surrounded by every angle by security guards, and he just climbs the tree super fast. And he says, "I don't know why I did that. I hate heights."
And I love Tom Hardy's performance in this as his downward spiral. Because he's in one scene, this is a little bit further down the road, but he's on the phone with Dr. A. And he's like, would this thing be able to help me climb a tree like really super, super, super fast? This Tom Hardy being weird. Tom Hardy, and I loved it.
Yeah, Tom Hardy really gets into the role of schizophrenic almost.
Oh, yeah.
But, Eddie finally gets home, and all of a sudden he's just really, really hungry.
And this scene's kind of gross. He eats garbage boned chicken from like a store. He eats frozen tater tots, which I don't know if I've ever tried that or if I ever want to try that.
It's not good. I'll tell you, it's not good.
I'm gonna guess you tempted this.
No. I was eating tater tots one day, and I didn't microwave them properly, and there was one in the middle that was still cold. Like, the rest were fine, but the one in the middle was still frozen pretty much. And I ate it, bit right through it, and it was just... My mouth was so dry afterwards.
Oh.
It was like eating dry wood.
Almost eating like potato powder.
Yeah.
Like, so don't do that, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like, oh, this sucks.
Because whenever I watch it, I'm like, I feel like he's just eating really cold potato chips.
Yeah, let me tell you, it is not that. Like, they're greasy, but they're still dry.
Yeah.
But,
yikes.
He's eating all this stuff, and then he snaps out of it. He's like,
oh God, what did I just do?
And he runs to the bathroom.
And he just vomits.
Throws up. So, he picks himself up after he's done.
And he starts brushing his teeth. And this is the funniest scene in the entire movie. He just is like, he's like, pretty much has that I'm just done look on his face. And he looks in the mirror. And Venom just appears. He's just like, Eddie. And he's just like, ah! And he just throws himself backwards and hits his head on his shower.
I don't think Venom appeared. I think it was just the voice.
His eyes.
Oh.
Venom's eyes like appeared.
Right. But, Eddie's now convinced that there's something else living inside of him.
And at this point, the Life Foundation realizes that one of their specimens is gone, so they're rounding up everybody. They're like, who knows anything? I want to see the security footage. And the security footage shows Dr. Scurf helping. And so Drake pretty much gets her alone in an office, and he's like, I want you to tell me who took it. And she is like, no, I don't trust you. You're gonna... And he just does this whole, it's going to be different. I need you to trust me. This guy's going to die if we don't help him. And so she tells him, and then he leaves, and a canister with a symbiote opens. And it kills her.
Okay, I was just about to ask, do we ever find out what happened?
We see a disemboweled Scurf.
Okay.
So, check on the kill count.
I can't make
I
can't make a joke like that. I can't stomach making a repeat.
I don't like you right now. But when they show like two sequences of body horror with the symbiotes.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that was like one of the things they were like, oh, this is going to be a dark horror movie. We're going to see ugly body horror and everything. But it's like, meh.
Yeah.
There could have very easily been a rated R idea of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see where they're just like, well, how about we just like make it PG-13 and we just kind of show something.
Like, the action sequences could have been a whole lot more graphic.
Oh, yeah. Especially when the main character bites heads off.
There's no blood. There's nothing.
No.
Which is, it's like, if other more horror movies have taught me anything, if a head gets popped off, there's going to be blood.
There is no shortage of blood in that instance. But, like, when your character is really called the lethal protector, there is death and there is blood.
Which there is definitely death, but there's no blood.
And there is some body breaking in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
With the SWAT sequence, which we'll get into a little bit. There is a guy who just uses like a hammer.
Are we talking about at the apartment?
No.
Yeah, because you're getting ahead of yourself.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, there could have very easily been gore.
Oh, yeah.
And blood and bone breaking in this movie. I mean, there kind of is bone breaking, but it's PG-13ized. I just wish this movie would have been rated R. You would have seen Venom in all of his gnarly glory.
Oh, yeah.
But, meh.
But after Dr. Skirt dies, Drake sends some of his SWAT team members after Eddie.
And, we did skip something. Eddie finds Ann and Dan. And he's, like, eating raw lobster and stuff.
And that
happens before the security team.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all in the same day.
Right.
So they go over. Eddie finds him. He pretty much makes a fool of himself. Everybody thinks he's on drugs, and so they take him to the hospital and they do an EKG. Which, if any Marvel fans are out there, knows symbiotes do not like loud sounds.
No, high frequencies.
High frequencies. Sorry. And so Eddie pretty much has like a schizophrenic breakdown in the EKG because of the loud humming, and pretty much says, "We'll get your results to you here in a little bit."
And Venom says, "Just don't do that again."
Yeah, pretty much. And so we find him later on that night at home making cooked tater tots this time.
Huzzah!
Man finally knows how to use a toaster oven. And he gets a call. He's pretty much like, "You have a parasite, and it's eating away at you." And this is when that whole super fast dialogue happens. And Eddie hears a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. Nobody's there. And Venom says, "Don't answer that," which I like that.
Yeah, I feel like even without Spider-Man, Venom has some kind of sixth sense.
Well, I'm not going to talk about it, but in the second movie, there's kind of like this hint at Venom knows who Spider-Man is.
Yeah.
So it makes you wonder if, like, the Hive itself is multiversal. Because they kind of have that hinting kind of like at it. But that's for a different episode.
If we ever get to it.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
But this next scene is two scenes that both involve mass violence.
His apartment gets broken into. There's pretty much
SWAT team members every direction he looks. Front door, there's like 4 of them. There's 3 of them coming through the windows, stuff like that.
And then this leads to a bike sequence.
Yes.
Tom Hardy's a big motorcycle guy. And so he's like, "Can we get a motorcycle sequence in this movie?"
Which they managed. And it's a good sequence.
It's got like drones, exploding drones.
And Venom really, in these 2 sequences, Venom really starts to show up more physically.
He like makes Eddie's hands, Venom's hands, and just like revs the bike to max, and he's just like going down the street and everything. So Eddie's pretty much just along for the ride.
Yeah. And, it's at the end of this bike sequence that we finally see full Venom.
He fully transforms, and it is beautiful.
And he just bites the head off of a dude.
After licking the face of one of the guys with his gnarly tongue.
But after this whole situation, Venom, still controlling Eddie's body, kind of swims away to one of the Golden Gate Bridge's structural supports.
And at this point, where we get one of the things we get throughout the series is Venom, like, kind of like materializes and just like talks to him in like a face form.
Yeah, like it'll grow from his back and just be there.
Yeah.
Like as a physical thing he can interact with.
Which I thought that was kind of cool. Not just having the dialogue just be in his head.
And it's really a neat concept in the next couple of episodes. Not episodes, but movies, because there will be times where Venom will just headbutt Eddie, or Eddie will punch Venom.
Yeah, because the things that worked for this movie and the second one, they pretty much just like dialed those things up to 11. That's pretty much just made them a little married couple.
Yeah.
Almost. Which is good for the comedy.
Yeah.
But Eddie gets knocked. We're past that. Sorry. He goes to the news place because he took photos of the Life Foundation.
Yeah.
And so he says, "Can I get up there to the office? I want to give him something." And the desk guy's like, "No." And so Venom was like, "You want up?" And so he just climbs up the top of the building.
And this is where, again, Eddie's fear of heights kicks in, but overdrive, because he's at the top of one of the tallest buildings.
Yes. And so they crash through the window. He leaves the evidence, and Venom tells him to jump.
We can't say that.
We can't say what Eddie gets called.
We can say a nicer version.
He calls him a sissy.
Yes.
And this part made you and I laugh so freaking hard in the movie theater. Yeah. We're just like, they went there.
Because, you think Eddie's actually about to jump, and then he just takes the
elevator
down.
And so we get downstairs, and there's just SWAT everywhere.
Yeah.
And so the SWAT guys are like, "Mask, copy," because they're going to shoot smoke.
Yeah.
And Eddie has his hands raised, and he's just like, "Mask," and Venom says, "Copy." And so he just
transvenomizes.
So at this point, they've only been working together for a couple hours, and they've already got, like, each other down.
Well, I mean, that is pretty much the definition of symbiotic, where both parties contribute to aid one another.
And this is one of the coolest action sequences in the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, he just demolishes these guys. And he grabs a guy by the leg. He, like, pretty much, like, slams him down on the ground and uses him to hit people. And he throws him through, like, 10 sheets of glass. This guy's fine, everybody.
He's alive.
He's probably in traction for the rest of his life, but he's alive.
Oh, yeah.
But then Anne shows up.
Which, by the way, Dr. Dan, which I'm going to refer to him only as Dr. Dan.
That's who he is.
I won't say just Dan. It's always Dr. Dan.
Not Dan the man.
No, Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan.
But Dr. Dan and Annie, or Anne, whatever.
Yeah.
This entire time that Eddie's been going around the city, they've been looking for him to tell him that it's a parasite.
Yeah, and Dan realizes that the parasite's eating him.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "We gotta get him here, we gotta get this thing out of him now." And so Anne shows up and she sees Venom. She's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "I don't know. I am scared." And so they get in the car and they go to the hospital. And that's when Eddie's like, "You're eating me?" And so Anne turns on the EKG and they separate.
Yeah.
and they trap Venom in the sliding glass doors, and Venom escapes through the grate, which they don't see this.
No. What? No, I'm thinking of something else.
So Eddie just like storms off because he's just like done, and Drake's security guys show up. They tase him and they take him captive.
As one does.
Yeah. And so Venom finds a dog.
Okay, so I was thinking of the right thing.
So Venom takes the dog. Then the dog sees Anne, and the dog does the eye thing we talked about, and
What?
Anne just knows.
Yeah. But, like, does Anne see Eddie get taken away or no?
No. And so at this point, Drake has Riot
And Eddie.
and Eddie, and she's like, "Where's my symbiote at?" He's like, "I don't know. I wouldn't tell you if I did." And then he just turns into like this gigantic monstrosity of a symbiote.
And Venom is more of a rounded character, and he is all black.
Yes.
Riot is more sharp everywhere you look.
Well, Riot is a symbiote that can create weapons.
Yes.
Venom creates, I don't want to say shapes, but he's pretty much,
He's better at controlling his own mass
yes.
instead of hardening it into like swords and mallets and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's good. He's very defensive
Yes.
symbiote, not an offensive symbiote. And in the comics, if Venom absorbs something, he can create it. That is not the case in this iteration.
Like the biggest thing for Venom is that he's able to perfectly copy Spider-Man's abilities.
Yeah.
And for any comic nerds out there, you'll know that after Venom separates from Spider-Man, he's able to just move past Spider-Man's biggest defense, which is his spider sense.
Yeah. Which Venom is a lot more dangerous after Spider-Man's rejection,
Yeah.
because then he feeds off of rage and anger, whereas this he just feeds off of a human.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of a story where they asked why he's angry after Spider-Man, but that's for somebody else to tell, not me.
Yeah.
Um,
But as we were saying, Eddie's at the Life Foundation being interrogated by, at this point, Riot.
and so pretty much he's useless to me. Take him out and shoot him, pretty much. And so Eddie's just like stalling for time because he sees a tendril.
Which he's out in the woods.
Yes, they take him out with the woods right by the Life Foundation.
Very dimly lit.
Yeah.
But Eddie starts noticing the guards be taken out one by one until it's just the main dude looking at him that's about to shoot him.
Yes.
And it's in this scene where the guy that's about to shoot him gets his head bit off.
And we get She-Venom, which is Anne with the symbiote.
Oh, yeah.
And they kiss, and that's how they get changed.
Which, my question that I've asked you before is it Venom kissing Eddie? Is it Anne kissing Eddie? Or is it both?
Processing. I think it's Anne. Because the only person who calls Anne Annie is Eddie. Like, there's always going to be that closeness, no matter what happens.
Right.
And she openly admits, like, "Oh, well, it was your friend who did that." Creating this homosexual niche to their relationship, which does not exist.
It's so funny, though. I can just imagine.
We do not need homosexual undertones for this character.
I can just imagine Venom getting back with Eddie and be like, "Hey, Eddie, how's it going?
Did you enjoy that little thing we did?" Just stop. Please don't ruin Venom by making him a woke character.
So,
please.
all right, we're moving on, but Venom and Eddie are back together, and they're assessing the situation.
And Venom's pretty much like, we're screwed.
But he also tells Eddie, Riot's whole plan is to go up into space, bring more symbiotes down, and just take over
the Earth.
Yeah.
Eat the Earth.
And Eddie's like, so what's our chance of winning? None. All right, let's be heroes.
And so they fight Riot. Eddie gets stabbed in the process.
Which I want to point out, I like this fight sequence. It's very interesting.
I like that they do the whole part where they're like pushing back and forth. It's very like this liquid motion.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the rocket walkway, everything leading up to that, because you see just how
powerful each of these symbiotes are in their own respect.
But you also see like Riot has a much bigger advantage because he's able to slash, smack, and just squash Venom,
and he like can stab things through his back and everything. He's very versatile.
Oh yeah,
adversary.
But something that I think gives Venom an edge is I think he's
more agile.
Agile. He seems to be more defensive, and I want to say he's able to almost regenerate.
He does regenerate,
which I want to say that's not a common thing for symbiotes, aside from Carnage.
And they kind of keep that in the sequel because everybody knows Carnage is Venom's offspring.
Yes.
So it is kind of cool they lay the foundation like that because Carnage does do things like that in the second movie. But yeah, afterwards there's a loud noise, they separate, and then the two humans are fighting, and at some point the thing I talked about, this liquidy fight.
Yeah, but sorry, go ahead.
Where they're pretty much like merging together, and somehow Riot just absorbs both hosts and both symbiotes.
Yeah, and it's a cool concept because the thing that always sticks out to me is there's a slow-mo shot where there's a couple where it shows the symbiotes separating while fighting, while connected to their host, and the host fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they used a lot of cool shots in this movie.
And it's such a cool concept, which I wish we could have seen more of. Like, just these symbiotes clashing with the host still intact.
Well, if you really think about it, the only other time they would have done that is the second one.
Yeah.
Because in the third one, there is no real symbiote versus symbiote action.
No.
In the third one, because there is no, like, one evil symbiote.
No, that's an entirely different entity, which we will get into.
When we get into it?
Probably never, because you still haven't seen the movie.
We'll get there.
But the whole action sequence ends with Anne blasting a loud, high-pitched frequency through the facility speakers, separating the host from the symbiote.
And separates Super Riot, which absorbed everything.
Yeah.
And so then Eddie and Drake have a little hand fight.
Which I think, just without the symbiote, Eddie wins 100% of the time.
Oh, yeah, because Drake's a school rich boy.
You know? Like, he gets a couple good hits in, but Eddie's
a scrapper.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. Because we also know that from his time as a reporter, he's seen
action.
Yeah, and he's probably been a part of it to survive.
Probably. And so he kicks Drake off a ledge, and then we turn around and boom, Eddie gets stabbed by a gigantic spear.
Which Riot kind of fell off onto a lower ledge, and
as Drake got kicked off, they merged.
Yeah. Which now Riot's gonna start heading up to a rocket that's aimed for the stars to bring more symbiotes back.
And he gets inside, and at this point, Venom appears and merges with him and resurrects Eddie.
Yes.
And he
doesn't heal him, fully resurrects him.
Yeah, and he pulls the spear out, and he just has a spear now.
Yeah.
Which in the comics, Venom would then be able to create spears, but nope.
Kind of a situation his offspring gets.
Yes. And so he pretty much just climbs the ship and just says, "Have a nice life. See ya." And just jumps down and just cuts the fuel containers and it explodes the ship.
Which the ship has already taken off. So
Yes.
all that fuel is hitting active burners.
And so Venom then turns into a parachute. He
To
says,
save Eddie.
"Save Eddie." And he burns and he says, "Goodbye, Eddie." And then Eddie splashes in the water and we assume Venom is dead.
Which, with what we've talked about already, we know he's not.
Seeing as how there's 2 other movies.
Yeah, we've mentioned them both already.
Yeah, they're Venom movies without Venom. There's Eddie Brock, you know.
He's in a metal Venom suit.
Yeah.
He's Iron Man.
I am Iron Venom.
No, but after this, I want to say some time passes.
I would probably say about a week or so.
Yeah, and not Venom, Eddie's sitting out front of Anne's apartment, talking to her, just chit chatting, having a nice little time.
Because they've rebuilt their relationship
Yeah,
as friends.
yeah. Dr. Dan's still in the picture. Nothing ever bad happens with Dr. Dan around.
Nope, he's the man.
Only when he's around do things take a turn for the better.
Pretty much.
But
Maybe if he was in 3, it would have went better. But oh well.
doubt it. But anyway, Eddie's talking, and he hears a voice say, "Kiss her."
Kiss her, she belongs with us.
And Eddie's like, "Oh, whoa, would you look at the time? I gotta get going."
But no, he's just like, "I don't think so." And Anne's like, "Excuse me?" He's like, I gotta go.
Is there something you're not telling me? Well, it was nice talking to you. I'll see you later.
In which they both proclaim their new jobs. She works as pro bono for the court system, and Eddie is a written word journalist. They offered him a show back, but he turned it down. And he says he got the interview of a lifetime.
With a one Cletus Cassidy.
For anybody who does not know,
Carnage.
Carnage is pretty much the Joker of the Marvel Universe, in my eyes. Depending on which version you're talking about.
Just overall, yeah, I can see it.
Because he's a sadistic serial killer. He's got a terrifying laugh.
And his whole thing is just...
He wants carnage.
And it brings him joy.
Yes. But the movie ends with a little surprise cameo with Stan Lee in one of his last films.
Yep.
Which, this cameo confuses me. Because he says, "Don't give up on her, either of you." And we're just like, what? And Eddie says, "We won't." So does this old man God and he just sees the symbiote side of him too? Or what are we talking about here?
I mean, you gotta think, it's Stan Lee. He probably knows everything about everyone.
Stan Lee is just like Morgan Freeman's God in all these movies, and that's why he's there.
Or, maybe he was at the Life Foundation.
Yeah, he's just one of those security guards that just works through retirement. He just knows what's up.
But
then we go back to Mrs. Chen's.
Yeah.
Where we see, and so she has like this guy who just comes around and just wants money for protection.
Quote unquote protection.
And so at this point, Eddie's trying to like teach Venom like there are good people and there are bad people. You can only eat maybe potentially very, 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 very bad people. And at this point, Venom's like, "Is that one of those bad guys I could eat?" And Eddie's like, "Yep." And so he gives this long monologue.
He's like, "If you ever come around here again, I will eat your legs, and then your arms, and then your face, so you will be like a turd in the wind."
Which, sorry, what?
And then he just eats the robbers.
We get one more phrase.
Oh. Go ahead,
The
David.
face parts, and he says, "We are Venom." Then he eats it.
Yeah.
And then he just turns back to normal, and Mrs. Chen is just horrified what she sees, because he eats him whole.
Yeah.
And so Mrs. Chen is just like, what was that? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got a parasite. Have a good night.
And as they're walking out, Venom does not like to be called a parasite,
It's-
even now.
He's like, parasite, apologize. I'm sorry for my crappy Tom Hardy Venom impersonation.
But that's the whole movie,
And we get a post-credit scene.
which is kind of the start of the interview. Cletus Cassidy.
Who's played by Woody Harrelson. And I love it.
Yeah, he does a good job.
I don't think I could think of anybody else to play him better. It's just the fact that he's not,
Henry Cavill. Ed Sheeran.
oh Lord. Hey, what's up, man? I want to write you a song. And then just like, I want to eat your face. This is why we're not in casting.
No.
But yeah. Anything you want to add before? Do we have any questions? I don't remember if we wrote any down or not.
I didn't, but
Let me-
you know me, I've been coming up with them as we do this.
Let me check my notes. Would you want Venom or would you want another symbiote?
Just any symbiote.
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm a fan of Venom, but are we talking movie or in general?
Just you pick your iteration of any symbiote you find your favorite. And
So- Regular Venom before he meets Deadpool.
so pretty much like the original iteration.
Yes.
Okay. I can see that'd be a good one.
Because even though he hasn't met Spider-Man, there's still a lot of possibilities there, like to be a good person.
Absolutely.
Because they're not innately evil; they're just trying to survive.
Yeah. Part of me would want to go with anti-venom, not just to correspond with yours, but like anti-venom, while he is like a major villain,
Yeah,
it's all about the beholder. Because if you look at Insomniac's Spider-Man 2, anti-venom is created with Mr. Negative and a piece of the symbiote that is left in Spider-Man.
yeah.
That's not what happens in the comics at all.
No,
But
like Anti-Venom is a serious villain, but he has like healing properties though.
yes. And so I would want the Insomniac's anti-venom because
Yeah.
one, it's pretty much just a symbiote that loses its intelligence and it's all in Spider-Man's control.
Right.
So he doesn't go insane or anything. He just pretty much exists. So I would want that one. Would you, if you were Anne, would you forgive Eddie for what he did?
See,
I
I
would
would-
get back with him.
I personally would not get back with him. I would forgive him, but I wouldn't forget what he did.
I would give him the chance to explain himself because she doesn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like he didn't necessarily try to do a wrong thing.
No.
He's just trying to bring down a guy he knows is just bad news.
Right. Well,
And he didn't even like technically use her in the way that she says he did.
I mean, you also got to think about it like this. That's invading her work privacy.
Yeah.
Like, blatantly just disregarding.
He did make a choice. He
Yes.
did.
So that falls on him for making the choice.
Yeah.
But like I said, I would forgive him, but I by no means would I get back with him.
Right. She does have something pretty good with Dr. Dan.
Yeah.
And the last question, would you be a hero or an anti-hero if you had a symbiote?
See, if I had movie Venom, the
Yeah,
best
and I-
best I could say is an anti-hero.
And I guess what you also have to think about is, would you be in control or not? Because a lot of times the symbiote takes over your mind. if the bond isn't strong enough.
Well, like if I'm getting Venom, assuming the bond is strong, at best I'm an anti-hero. At worst, I'm a menace to society everywhere.
I would try to be as much of a hero as possible, but I'd probably fall into that anti-hero line because essentially you are a lethal protector.
Right.
If you want to be your hero, you're gonna be like Spider-Man and like not hurt anyone. Try to find the best situation you can.
Which I'm not good at thinking like Spider-Man. My first thought upon seeing like a villain would just be punch him till he stops. Hit him harder.
Punching him, stop moving.
He's
You
twitching.
dead.
Hit him again.
Batman would hate our thinking.
Now he would love it. Arkham Knight series.
Okay. Yeah, Batman doesn't kill people as he throws people off of roofs and just beats them into like non-existence.
Yeah.
Totally
Doing a 10,000 hit combo.
And like Spider-Man from Insomniac, you just kick people off of roofs. Oh, Spider-Man doesn't kill people. I think they added a bug where if you jump off the side of a building when he kicks people off, they're just hanging there on a web to like make people think that he actually doesn't kill people.
There you go. But I don't have any questions because your last question kind of just summarized it for me.
Right.
But anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we gotta tell people where our next movie is.
Obviously. But before that, is there anything else you want to add about Venom?
I don't think so. I think this movie you only like if you're a big Spider-Man fan.
Right.
But I wouldn't start this out as like your first superhero movie.
No, not by any means. See, the best superhero movie as of 20, the 2000, the 21st century is Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie.
I think the first superhero movie anybody should ever see, and this is just me because this is what I grew up on, would be Superman 78. Because that encapsulates what a superhero is, and it doesn't like be like, oh, this guy has to destroy anything to save people.
Right.
Like it captures the essence of what a superhero is.
See, the reason I say Iron Man is the first Iron Man movie is because it shows like his life before and it shows up his upbringing and how he changes.
Yeah.
But anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
All right, sir. What's our next movie?
Our next movie is kind of a cult classic, a very deep cut. For anybody who's a fan of the Evil Dead franchise, will certainly know this or potentially hate it for its existence. But we are going over Army of Darkness, the theatrical version, which is still rated R, but it's a lot. It's more PG-13. I don't understand why it's rated R, but it is.
Probably for like very crude humor.
Probably. But this is pretty much a live action Looney Tunes movie with a horror-ish, hard-ish skin on it.
See, I like the movie just because it kind of delves into the medieval aspect.
Right.
And I'm a huge fan of medieval.
Right.
Just the armor, the weapons, everything they used. I love it.
So you're a big fantasy fan?
Yeah.
So, right on.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I guess we'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been The Real...
Oh, my bad.
We're not symbiotic, everybody.
Take two.
Okay, I'm Logan Thomas.
I'm Caden Green.
And this has been
The Real Bros.
There we go. All right, guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
See ya.